Hi, and thank you for joining me for this video series about your relationship with money. Now, last time we looked at what your relationship with money is in terms of your emotions. In this video, we're going to look at where that programming came from and discover how much of it is influencing your finances in your life now. Hi, I'm Suzanne Ellison of RedesignYourLife.com, where I help people to understand how beliefs they have can create emotional blocks, which then influences and sabotages their actions and stops them achieving the level of success that they are more than capable of. Now, some people say that they don't want to dig down and find out the originating source of why they think or do what they do. But the problem with this is the minute you're faced with another situation that triggers another similar memory, then you're straight back to square one in how you deal with that issue. So what I want to do today is to go back to your earliest memories of being aware of money, because it actually plays a really big part in being responsible for your current financial situation. And you told me that that's the thing that's keeping you awake at night. Your logic may say that, well, actually, it's my current situation that's causing me negative emotions. But you got yourself into this situation because of your history and programming with regards to money. Your subconscious is actually your library of memories based on past experiences. And when you try and do anything that is the same or similar to something you've done in the past that actually gave you a negative result, that's when your subconscious kicks in and fills your mind with doubt. And it actually creates resistance to what you want to do. Even though you may not know why you feel this resistance, especially when logic is saying, this is what I want to do. When you were a child and started becoming aware of money and its significance, that's probably about the time you also started forming your own beliefs about money. And this early programming is likely to be the source that is affecting your relationship with money today. So, if you don't have time to do the following exercise, there is a worksheet that you can download and read along with the tapping script, which I strongly recommend you do, as most financial blocks are as a result of some form of programming from childhood. In this exercise, what I want you to do is to take a few moments where you can sit quietly and just take yourself back to when you were a child. Close your eyes and take a really deep breath and slowly exhale. When you do this several times, you actually start to relax down, and it's a lot easier to then switch off from everything that's going on and just let your mind wander. Breathe in and exhale several times, and each time you do, let your body just relax that little bit more and start letting your mind float back to the days and memories of yourself as a child. You can either think back through your memories, trying to go back as far as you can, or if you'd rather do it in the third person and see it more like a movie and look in on yourself going through your childhood. See if you can see what's happening. Who's in the picture? What room are they in? Are they sitting down or are they standing up? Are they angry or were they whispering so the children don't hear? Just let your thoughts go all the way back to those memories and then slowly work up through seeing what you remember. It doesn't matter if you think you're making up the details, because it's about what you remember. And that's what's important, and those are the key memories and words that you would be using to tap on. So the more detail you can give your memory, the better. And as I say, it's what you remember. Whether or not it's right is not the issue. So look at what those memories are that are coming up for you, and actually compare them to what your current relationship with money is today. Do you see any similarities? Was it okay to have a lot of money? Or was that actually a sign of greed? Was it okay to have more than others? How you value yourself and your understanding of the importance of money within your life has actually been programmed into you by your family. As a child growing up, you look to your parents for love, security, and approval. It's part of our survival instinct that we're born with. Therefore, you will actually do whatever you have to in order to avoid criticism, danger, and especially rejection. Even if you've learned to see money in a different way because of a job you do or because you're older and you know differently, how you relate to it in regards to your personal life can still be influenced by what you grew up believing. Your family are the main influence in your formative years, and they define and instill into you your value of who and what you are. The relationship you have with money and what you believe are acceptable in terms of success and wealth. And because of this influence, is there from the time you were born and you grow and learn under this umbrella, you're not actually aware of how much it impacts your thinking and your actions in your adult life. Perhaps at this point you're thinking, but I don't want to be or even have my parents' values. I'm nothing like them. This is also another part of our survival instincts and a response to our ever-evolving species. The need to grow and be different, to push the boundaries, to question. But even this then leaves you in a position of conflict. Because on the one hand, you want to have your family's approval, but on the other, you want to challenge what you've been taught and go out there and push the boundaries. This is very key in terms of your ability to learn more. If you grew up believing that people like you will never be rich or successful, or you have a high level of respect for your parents, earning more than them could actually result in criticism that perhaps you're getting above yourself. These and other similar beliefs can be triggers for you to then sabotage your efforts to increase your income. Your need and desire to be financially successful now is coming into direct conflict with your desire to maintain the approval of your family. This also explains why many people who do break out of this mindset that they've grown up in become very successful, very wealthy, but then lose it all and crash back down to within the boundaries and the paradigms that they actually grew up with. This loyalty to your family's values causes you to restrict how you earn, manage, and save money, no matter how smart or how talented you are. And yet the need to rebel against that loyalty and redefine it by being successful can be just as strong. But you seesaw between the two by constantly sabotaging your efforts to move away from one set of values to creating a set of your own. I suffered from this conflict for many years without even realizing it. I was smarter than my brother in the classroom, and I felt my mother's disapproval for many years as a result. But even after my brother became successful in his own business, I would still sabotage my efforts to grow my business beyond a certain level, until I realized what was stopping me in increasing my income. I tapped on the fact that it was a past situation that was no longer relevant, and I released myself from the guilt of being successful. And if through habit I continued to try and sabotage my efforts, I was much more aware of what I was doing and why I was doing it, and would tap and immediately remove the block. So take a few minutes to think about those childhood memories and the values your parents have about money and being financially successful. And then think about your history with money, how you manage it, how you really feel about earning more. And if it makes you feel uncomfortable, where does that come from? Because why should you feel uncomfortable about earning more money? What's actually holding you back? Take a really good look. Do you see a pattern in your thinking and your actions? Because if you do, you need to acknowledge it and take full responsibility for it. because until this moment, you weren't actually aware that this is what was driving your actions. Tapping to clear the emotional connection you have to your family's values is essential if you are to be financially successful in the long term. Until you clear this block, your subconscious will keep you in conflict. Tapping to reduce the need to conform will open the door for you to create a new mindset that will allow for the level of success you want. Now, there is a diagram of the tapping points and the tapping script, as I said earlier, which you can download. But for now, if you're not sure what to say and you want to follow then you can follow what I say. And if you've tapped before, then please feel free to use your own words, and because they are specific to the memories that you have, and therefore your results will be better. So, starting with the karate chop point of the hand, let's tap. Thinking back through my memories, I can now understand why I have the relationship with money that I do. My parents didn't force me to have these values about money. I just learned and accepted their values because I didn't know any difference. But now I see how my values are different, and this is causing conflict in my ability to increase my income. So I'm choosing to release the guilt I feel in wanting to have different values and a different relationship about money in my life. So, starting at the top of the head, tap on all the negative memories that are holding you back. All this fear of criticism, this fear of doing something wrong, this fear of upsetting my parents, all this frustration, all this worry about money, always feeling I'm letting myself down, all this anxiety about money. It was all my fault. Take a really deep breath in and then exhale it out. Now let's do a round of positive affirmations. Remember, please feel free to use your own words if they don't resonate with what I'm saying. I understand why it wasn't my fault. It was about my parents' values, not mine. I choose to create my own values. I choose to create my own beliefs. I choose to stop sabotaging my finances. I choose to release all my guilt. I respect their values, but choose to create my own now. Being financially successful doesn't mean I disrespect my parents, and I free myself from that guilt. Another deep breath, and exhale out. Last round of tapping is alternating a positive affirmation with a negative, making sure you always end on a positive. So, starting at the top, fear of criticism. It wasn't my fault. My fear of upsetting my parents. I now choose to release all that guilt that I've been holding on to. All this worry about money. I choose to create my own beliefs and my own limits. All this anxiety about money. I now choose to stop sabotaging my financial situation. Take a very deep breath and slowly exhale, letting what you have said register in your mind. Now you can understand why you sabotage your efforts to increase and maintain your income. Or perhaps you've just never been able to take that first step to move towards improving them. But every time you find yourself procrastinating about doing something or taking the next step, you can stop and ask yourself, why? Why am I procrastinating? What values do I feel I'm violating? Especially the ones my subconscious is warning me about. And then, all you need to do is a few rounds of tapping Often, even if you can't quite pin down in words what the problem is, just by tapping and repeating one phrase can make a shift happen and open up the doors to your thoughts. Always try and be as specific as you can about the problem, about what the problem is, because as you tap and open your mind to the block, the negative feelings will come to the surface and the words you want will actually pop into your mind. Do a round of tapping on the old values that no longer serve you, and then tap on what you want to have happen, and the anxiety and procrastination will actually subside and leave you free to think clearly about how to move forward. So now that you understand where your relationship with money actually originates from, you should be feeling more empowered in the knowledge that you can make a positive change within that relationship, which will reflect your values and your aims, and will take you a step closer to being financially successful, and hopefully give you better sleep at night. If you have any questions or would like to ask me anything, please leave a comment on the bottom of this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.